Williams hated his mother since he was a child. He avoided her because his friends always mocked him because of her. He would cry and ask why she was his mother. Why him? Williams stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling glass window of his penthouse office. From the 40th floor, the cars down on the busy streets of Lagos looked like colorful ants. He adjusted his expensive Italian suit, checked his golden wristwatch, and smiled. He was the CEO of Will's Bank. He was young, he was handsome, and he was a billionaire. His mind drifted back to 20 years ago. The village was dusty and unforgiving. Williams was a small boy then, skinny and always hungry. His father had died in a car accident when Williams was just 2 years old. That was what his mother, Mama Sarah, had told him. Since then, it was just the two of them against the cruel world. Mama Sarah was a hard woman, not hard in heart but hard in strength. She woke up before the roosters crowed at 4:00 a.m. every single day. She would trek 5 miles to the river to buy fresh fish, then trek back to the market to smoke and sell them. The smoke from the fire clung to her clothes, her skin, and her hair. No matter how much she bathed, she always smelled of firewood and fish. But that wasn't why Williams was ashamed of her. He was ashamed because of her face. Mama Sarah had only one good eye. Her left eye was gone, covered by a patch of scarred, wrinkled skin. It looked scary to children. It looked ugly to adults. When she walked through the market, people would whisper, "Here comes the one-eyed witch," they would say. "Don't look at her face too long, or you will have bad dreams." Williams hated it. He hated the whispers. He hated the way other children looked at him. One afternoon at the village primary school, Williams was sitting under a tree eating his lunch, roasted yam that his mother had wrapped in an old newspaper. A group of boys, led by a bully named Michael, surrounded him. "Hey, Cyclops Jr., Michael shouted, kicking dust onto Williams' food. "My name is Williams," he whispered, his hands trembling. "Your name is son of the witch," Michael laughed. "My mommy said your mother used her eye for juju ritual. That is why she can feed you. She sold her eye to the devil." The whole playground erupted in laughter. Tears streamed down Williams' face. He didn't fight back. He couldn't. Deep down, he was scared they were right. Why was she so ugly? Why did she have to be his mother? That evening, Williams ran home crying. Mama Sarah was sitting on a low stool, washing clothes for a neighbor to earn extra money. Her hands were white and wrinkled from the soapy water. "Williams, my son, what is it?" she asked, reaching out to hold him. Williams slapped her hand away. "Don't touch me," he screamed. "Why are you like this? Why do you have only one eye? Everyone laughs at me. I hate you. I wish you were not my mother." Mama Sarah froze. The pain in her one good eye was deeper than any ocean. She didn't shout. She didn't beat him. She just looked down at her soapy hands and whispered, "I am sorry, my son. I am sorry I bring you shame." She never explained. She never defended herself. She just worked harder. As Williams grew older, his shame turned into cold silence. He studied like a man possessed. He wanted to be the best student, not because he loved learning, but because he wanted to escape. He wanted to leave the village, leave the smell of fish, and leave his one-eyed mother behind. Mama Sarah did everything for him. When it was time for his WAEC exams, she sold her gold earrings, the last gift from her late husband, to buy him the textbooks. When he got admission into the university to study computer science, she took a loan from the village cooperative, using her small piece of farmland as collateral. "Read your books, Williams," she told him as he packed his small bag to leave for the city. "Make us proud. Don't worry about money. I will work. I will sell every fish in the river if I have to." Williams looked at her. She was wearing a faded wrapper with a hole in the knee. Her scarf was old. And that eye, that terrible, empty socket stared at him. "I will go," Williams said coldly. He didn't hug her. He didn't say thank you. He just entered the bus. As the bus drove away, he saw her through the window, waving with a smile on her face. He looked away. University was William's new kingdom. He was brilliant. He coded programs that even his lecturers didn't understand. He dressed neatly, buying second-hand clothes that looked expensive. He polished his shoes until he could see his reflection. And he lied. "My parents are dead," he told his new friends. "I am an orphan. I sponsor myself." It was easier to be an orphan than to be the son of the one-eyed fish seller. 4 years flew by. Williams graduated with a first-class degree. He was the best graduating student in the entire university. During the convocation ceremony, parents arrived in their best clothes. They brought flowers and gifts. Mama Sarah came too. She had traveled 8 hours by bus, carrying a heavy cooler of rice and stew she had cooked herself. She wore her best Sunday dress, but it was still old-fashioned and cheap. She tied a bright orange scarf to cover her head, but she couldn't hide her face. When she saw Williams in his graduation gown, she screamed with joy. My son, doctor of books." She danced toward him, her arms wide open. Williams saw her coming. He saw his wealthy friends watching. He saw the beautiful girls he wanted to impress looking at the old woman dancing. Panic gripped his throat. He quickly turned to his friends. "Please excuse me," he said. He walked fast, intercepting his mother behind a large tent where no one could see them. "Williams," she gasped, trying to hug him. He stepped back. "What are you doing here?" he hissed, his voice full of venom. Mama Sarah stopped dancing. "I came to celebrate. I brought rice. I brought chicken. Look, I—" "Go home," Williams said. "What?" "I said go home. Do you want to disgrace me? Look at you. You look like a beggar. My friends are here. Important people are here. If they see you, they will laugh at me. Take your rice and go." Mama Sarah stood there, clutching the cooler of food. Her hand shook. "But I traveled far. I just wanted to see you wear the cap. You have seen me. Now go." Williams turned his back on her and walked away to join his friends, putting on a fake smile. He didn't look back. If he had, he would have seen his mother sitting on the dusty ground behind the tent, eating the rice alone, tears washing down her face, mixing with the food. She ate for 2 minutes, packed her things, and entered the bus back to the village. Williams didn't care. He had just won a full scholarship to study for his master's degree in the United Kingdom. He was leaving Nigeria. He was finally free. London was cold, but to Williams it felt like paradise. The air smelled of coffee and expensive perfume, not smoke and fish. He threw himself into his studies at Oxford. He worked harder than anyone else. While other students went to parties or clubs, Williams was in the library, building algorithms, designing banking apps, creating the future. He stopped calling home. In the first few months, Mama Sarah would call him from a business center in the village. "Hello, Williams, is that you? Have you eaten?" Her voice would crackle over the bad connection. "I'm busy, Mother. I have exams. Don't call me, I will call you," he would say and hang up. Eventually, he changed his number. He told himself it was necessary. He needed to focus. He couldn't have her dragging him back to the poverty he had escaped. 2 years later, Williams finished his master's with distinction. He didn't return to Nigeria immediately. He worked for a top firm in London, saving every pound, investing in cryptocurrency, and building his connections. He was becoming a man of substance. 5 years after leaving Nigeria, Williams returned. He didn't go to the village. He went straight to Lagos Island. With the capital he had raised and the investors he had charmed, he launched Will's Bank. It was a revolution, an online bank that made transactions in seconds. No queues, no paperwork, just speed. The youth loved it. The businessmen loved it. Within a year, Williams was on the cover of Forbes Africa. The 29-year-old fintech king, the headline read. He bought a mansion in Banana Island. He bought a G-Wagon and a Ferrari. He had servants, drivers, and security guards. He was living the dream. But the dream needed a queen. That was when he met Ruth. He was at a high-stakes merger meeting with a telecommunications giant. The conference room was cold and quiet. Then, the door opened, and Ruth walked in. She was the head of strategy for the other company. Ruth was breathtaking. Her skin was like polished chocolate, her eyes sparkled with intelligence, and she spoke with a refined British accent. She was confident, sharp, and undeniably beautiful. Williams was mesmerized. Throughout the meeting, he couldn't take his eyes off her. She dismantled his team's arguments with a smile, showing a brilliance that matched his own. After the meeting, Williams waited for her by the elevator. "You are a shark," he said, smiling. Ruth laughed, a sound like silver bells. "And you are a stubborn man, Mr. Williams." "Call me Williams. Can I buy you dinner?" To apologize for being stubborn. That dinner turned into many dinners. They talked about business, about art, about travel. Ruth came from a wealthy family. Her father was a diplomat and her mother was a retired judge. She was perfect. She fit into his new world seamlessly. But there was one question Williams feared. One night as they sat on the balcony of his mansion, sipping vintage wine, Ruth looked at him with soft eyes. "Williams," she said gently, "I know everything about your business, your ideas, your favorite color, but you never talk about your family. Where are they?" Williams stiffened. He looked at the city lights. He had practiced this lie 1,000 times. "I don't have family," he said, forcing a sad tone into his voice. "My father died when I was a baby. My mother, she died of heartbreak shortly after. I grew up in an orphanage. I had to fight for everything I have alone." Ruth's eyes filled with tears. She reached out and held his hand. "Oh, Williams, I am so sorry. You are so strong, I didn't know." "It's okay," he said, squeezing her hand. "It made me who I am." He didn't feel guilty. He felt relieved. The lie was safe. Ruth would never have to meet the one-eyed woman. She would never have to know he came from dirt. Their relationship blossomed. 6 months later, Williams proposed. He rented out an entire private beach. There were fireworks, a live orchestra, and a diamond ring worth 50 million naira. Ruth cried as she said yes. They were the power couple of Lagos. The blogs couldn't stop talking about them. The billionaire and the beauty. Williams took Ruth to meet her parents. They lived in a sprawling estate in Abuja. Her father, the diplomat, shook Williams' hand firmly. Her mother, the judge, examined him with sharp eyes but eventually smiled. They accepted him. He was rich, successful, and polite. "We must set a date," Ruth's mother said over dinner. "A grand wedding, the society wedding of the year." "Yes," Williams agreed. "Nothing but the best for Ruth." As the wedding planning began, a dark thought entered Williams' mind. He lay in bed one night watching Ruth sleep. He was happy, yes, but he felt a nagging irritation. Deep down, he knew his mother was still alive. He knew she was probably still in that village, selling fish, asking neighbors if they had heard from her son. The thought of her waiting for him annoyed him. It felt like she was a stain on his perfect white shirt that wouldn't wash off. She needs to know her place, he thought. She needs to see that I am far above her now. She needs to see that I don't need her. A twisted idea formed in his head, a cruel, terrible idea. He would invite her, not to celebrate, not to sit on the high table. He would invite her to the wedding so she could see his wealth, see his beautiful wife, and see that he had become a king without her. He wanted to shame her. He wanted to point at her and tell the world, "This is why I ran away." He wanted to humiliate her so badly that she would never dare to call him or look for him again. He wanted closure. The next morning, he called a private investigator he used for background checks on employees. "Find a woman named Sarah in Oku village," Williams ordered. "Get her address. Deliver an invitation to my wedding. Make sure she knows it is her son getting married." The investigator found her within 2 days. In the village, Mama Sarah was older now. Her back was bent from years of hard labor. She was sitting in front of her mud house, peeling cassava. When the man in the suit handed her the gold-embossed invitation card, her hands trembled. "Williams," she whispered, tracing the gold letters. "My Williams is getting married." She didn't care that he hadn't called in years. She didn't care that he had abandoned her. A mother's love is a strange fire. It burns even when it rains. She stood up and danced. "My son remembers me. My son is getting married," she shouted to her neighbors. "He sent a car for you," a neighbor asked skeptically. "No," Mama Sarah said, clutching the card to her chest. "But he sent the invite. That is enough. I must go. I must see him." She went to her room and dug out a small tin box under her bed. It contained her life savings, money she had been saving in case Williams ever came back and needed help. It wasn't much, but it was all she had. She went to the market. She couldn't afford lace or expensive George fabric. She bought a simple, colorful Ankara fabric. It was cheap, and the colors were a bit too loud, but she thought it was beautiful. She paid a local tailor to sew it into a gown. She bought a new headscarf. "I will look like a queen for my son," she told the mirror. Her one good eye sparkled with tears of joy. She didn't know the invitation was a trap. She didn't know she was walking into a lion's den. The weeks leading up to the wedding were a whirlwind of luxury. Williams and Ruth flew to Dubai to shop for clothes. They flew to Paris to taste cakes. Everything had to be perfect. The wedding venue was the Eco Hotel Grand Ballroom, the most expensive venue in Lagos. Ruth was excited, but she noticed Williams was acting strange. He was edgy. Sometimes she would catch him smiling to himself, but it wasn't a happy smile. It was a cold, sneering smile. "Is everything okay, darling?" Ruth asked one evening as they finalized the guest list. "Everything is perfect," Williams replied, pouring himself a glass of whiskey. "I just have a surprise guest coming, someone from my past." "Oh, someone from the orphanage?" Ruth asked, her eyes wide. "Something like that," Williams chuckled darkly. "Someone who needs to see what I have become." Ruth didn't push further. She trusted him. Meanwhile, in the village, Mama Sarah was preparing for the journey. It was a long trip to Lagos. She packed her small bag. She scrubbed her feet with a pumice stone to remove the cracks, but the years of trekking barefoot had left permanent marks. She washed her face, staring at the empty socket of her left eye. "I will wear my scarf low," she promised herself. "I won't scare his friends." She boarded a public bus. It was crowded, hot, and smelled of sweat. The journey took 10 hours. The bus broke down twice. Mama Sarah didn't complain. She sat quietly, holding the invitation card like a Bible. She imagined holding William's hand. She imagined him introducing her to his wife. She imagined holding her grandchildren. When she arrived in Lagos, she was overwhelmed. The noise, the cars, the tall buildings. She used the last of her money to take a taxi to the address on the card, Eco Hotel. The security guards at the gate looked at her with suspicion. She was a small, frail woman in a faded gown, carrying a Ghana must-go bag. "Stop there, where do you think you are going?" the guard barked. "I am going to my son's wedding," she said, her voice shaking but proud. "Williams, the billionaire." The guards laughed. "Your son? Madam, please move away from the gate before we flog you." "I have proof." She frantically dug into her bag and pulled out the gold invitation. The guards stopped laughing. The invitation was real. It had the special hologram seal. They looked at each other, confused. "Let her in," the head of security said, scratching his head. "Maybe she is a former nanny or something." Mama Sarah walked up the long driveway. She saw the Ferraris, the Rolls Royces, the Bentleys dropping off guests. Women in diamonds and silk walked past her, their perfume smelling like heaven. Men in Agbada robes that cost millions talked on their phones. Mama Sarah felt small. She felt dirty. She looked down at her Ankara gown. In the village, it looked bright. Here, amidst the gold and silver, it looked like a rag. She tried to fix her scarf to cover her face more. She reached the entrance of the hall. The usher, A young lady in a beautiful uniform looked at her with disgust. "Ticket?" the usher asked rudely. Mama Sarah showed the card. "Table 50, the usher said, pointing to the very back of the hall near the kitchen doors and the toilets. Williams had arranged it. He wanted her at the back first. He wanted her to see the glory from afar before he brought her into the spotlight for the shame. Mama Sarah walked to her table. She sat alone. Everyone else at the table moved away from her, scrunching their noses. "Who let this beggar in?" A woman with a towering headgear whispered loudly. "Maybe she is here to clean," another replied. Mama Sarah kept her head down. She watched the screens. And then the music started. The doors opened. Williams walked in. He looked like a god. His tuxedo was tailored to perfection. He walked with power. Beside him was Ruth, looking like an angel in a white lace gown that trailed for meters behind her. Mama Sarah's heart swelled. My son, she thought, he made it. He really made it. Tears of joy rolled down her cheek. She forgot the insults. She forgot the hunger. She just saw her boy. The ceremony was beautiful. Vows were exchanged. Rings were slipped onto fingers. The crowd cheered. Williams kissed his bride. Then came the reception. The food was served. Dishes Mama Sarah couldn't even name. She didn't eat. She was too nervous waiting for the moment she could hug him. The MC, a famous comedian, took the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the groom to give his speech." The crowd roared with applause. Williams stood up. He took the microphone. He looked happy, but his eyes were cold as ice. He scanned the room. He looked past the senators, past the governors, past the oil tycoons. His eyes landed on the back of the hall, table 50. He saw the orange scarf. "Thank you, everyone," Williams said, his voice booming through the speakers. "Today is the happiest day of my life. I have my beautiful wife, Ruth. I have my friends, but..." He paused for dramatic effect. The room went silent. "There is someone here who I need to introduce. Someone very special." Mama Sarah's heart leaped. "He is going to call me," she thought. "He is going to introduce me." She started to stand up, a trembling smile on her face. "You see," Williams continued, "I told my wife I was an orphan, but that wasn't entirely true. My biological mother is alive, and she is here today." A gasp went through the room. Ruth looked at Williams, shocked. "Williams, what are you saying?" Williams ignored her. He pointed a finger directly at the back of the hall. "Security, please bring that woman in the orange scarf to the front. Bring her to the stage." 2 bouncers walked to table 50. They grabbed Mama Sarah by the arms, not gently, and marched her toward the stage. The walk felt like 1,000 miles. Every eye was on her. The cameras zoomed in. Her face was projected on the giant screens, her wrinkles, her cheap dress, her covered eye. They pushed her up the stairs. She stood next to Williams, looking tiny and frail beside him. She reached out to touch his hand. "Williams." He pulled his hand away as if she were fire. He turned to the crowd, his face twisted with disgust. "Look at her," Williams shouted into the microphone. "This is the woman who gave birth to me. Look at how she dresses. Look at her face." He reached out and ripped the scarf off her head. The crowd screamed. Mama Sarah's disfigured face, the empty eye socket, was exposed for the world to see. She tried to cover it with her hands, crying. "She is a monster," Williams yelled. "All my life she embarrassed me. I couldn't have friends because of her. She is a one-eyed witch. I ran away to England to escape her ugliness. And now look, she came here to ruin my wedding. She came to beg for money. She refuses to leave me alone." He turned to his mother, his eyes full of hate. "Why can't you just die? Why do you have to be my mother? I am a billionaire, and you are nothing." The hall was dead silent. No one moved. Even the air conditioner seemed to stop humming. Ruth covered her mouth with her hands, horror in her eyes. Williams laughed, a manic, crazy laugh. "Now you all see. This is why I said I was an orphan. Who would want this as a mother?" He looked at the crowd, expecting them to agree, expecting them to laugh with him. But no one laughed. They were frozen in shock. Mama Sarah stood there shivering. Her dignity was stripped naked. Her heart was broken into dust. But she didn't run. She took a deep breath. Her one good eye looked at her son, not with hate, but with a sadness so deep it could drown the world. She reached out her shaking hand and asked for the microphone. Before we continue, if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Please support my channel by liking this video and subscribing. It goes a long way for me. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you. I appreciate you. I do not take your efforts for granted. Now back to the story. Williams looked at his mother's outstretched hand. He smirked. He thought she wanted to beg. He thought she wanted to ask for forgiveness for being ugly. "Give her the mic," Williams told the MC. "Let her speak. Let her tell you how much of a burden she is." The MC, looking uncomfortable and sad, handed the microphone to the old woman. Mama Sarah held it with two hands. It was heavy. She looked at the thousands of rich people. She looked at the flashing cameras. Then she looked at Ruth, who was crying silently. Finally, she looked at Williams. "Good afternoon, everyone." Her voice was small, cracked, and sounded like dry leaves. "It is a true honor to be in your presence. Rich and important people. People I only see on the newspaper used to wrap fish." She paused to wipe a tear from her good cheek. "My son Williams is right. I am ugly. I have only one eye. I am a poor woman who smells of smoke. I understand why he is ashamed. A king cannot be seen with a slave." Williams crossed his arms, feeling triumphant. "Yes, admit it," he thought. But Mama Sarah continued, her voice gaining a little strength. "I was not always like this. I was not born blind in one eye. When I was young, I was beautiful. My husband, William's father, used to sing songs about my eyes. He said they were like stars." She took a deep breath. "My husband died in a car crash when Williams was just 2 years old. I survived, but I was broken. I had no money. I had no family to help, but I had my son. He was my life." She looked directly at Williams. "Williams, do you remember the accident when you were 2? No, you were too small. You were playing outside while I was cooking. You fell. A sharp stick from the firewood pile pierced your left eye." Williams frowned. "What is she talking about?" "We rushed you to the hospital," Mama Sarah said, tears flowing freely now. "The doctor said your eye was destroyed. He said the infection would spread to your brain and kill you if they didn't remove it. But he also said, if we could get a donor immediately, we could save your sight." The hall was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. "I had no money to buy an eye from the bank, and there was no time, so I told the doctor, take mine." A collective gasp swept through the hall. Williams felt his knees go weak. "The doctor refused at first," Mama Sarah cried. "He said I was crazy, but I begged him. I knelt down and held his leg. I said, my son has his whole life ahead of him. He needs to see the world. He needs to read books. He needs to see his future wife. I am old. I have seen enough. Please, take my eye and give it to my son." Ruth let out a loud sob, clutching her chest. "I sold my husband's land to pay for the operation," Mama Sarah whispered. "They put me to sleep. When I woke up, I had a bandage on my face. My eye was gone. But when I looked at the next bed, my little Williams was sleeping and he had 2 beautiful eyes." She pointed at William's face. "That eye you used to look at me with hate. That is my eye, my son. That is the gift I gave you so you could see the world clearly, so you could become the great man you are today." Williams felt like the ground was opening up to swallow him. His heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. "No, no. I never told you," Mama Sarah said, her voice shaking. "I didn't want you to feel guilty. I wanted you to think you were perfect. When the children laughed at me and called me a witch, I didn't care. Because every time I looked at you, I saw my sacrifice living and breathing. I saw my eyes shining in your face." She looked down at her feet. "I worked in the rain. I worked in the sun. I washed clothes until my hands bled just to buy your books, because I wanted that eye to read everything. I wanted that eye to see success." She looked up, staring straight into the camera, straight into the soul of everyone in the room. "I am sorry I came today. I didn't know you hated me this much. I just wanted to see you one last time. I wanted to see who you married. She is beautiful, my son. She is very beautiful." She turned to Williams, a sad smile on her disfigured face. "Williams, I want you to know that I love you, even now. You are all I have left in this world. I am sorry for the embarrassment I caused you. Keep the eye, my son. Use it well. Look at your wife with love. Look at your children with kindness. Don't be like me." Her hand went limp. The microphone slipped from her fingers and hit the floor with a loud thud. Mama Sarah's legs gave way. She collapsed onto her knees, burying her face in her hands, weeping uncontrollably. Her small shoulders shook with the weight of 20 years of secret pain. For 5 seconds there was silence. Then the sound of sobbing broke out from every corner of the hall. The rich men were wiping their eyes. The women were wailing. The waiters were crying. And Williams stood frozen. His world was crashing down around him. The memories flooded back. The headaches he had as a child. The way his mother always protected his left side. The way she looked at him with that intense, single-eyed stare. It was her, it was always her. She gave him his sight, she gave him his life, and he had dragged her here to mock her. A scream tore from William's throat, a scream of pure, agonizing regret. "Mama!" Williams fell to his knees. He didn't care about his Italian suit. He didn't care about the cameras. He crawled across the stage until he reached the small, weeping woman. Mama, I didn't know," he screamed, tears pouring from his eyes, both eyes, the eyes she had given him. He grabbed her rough, calloused hands and kissed them. He kissed her feet. He hugged her frail body, burying his face in her neck, smelling the scent of the village he had despised, which now smelled like the purest love. "Forgive me, please God, forgive me," Williams wailed like a child. "I am a monster. I am the blind one. Mama, you gave me everything and I gave you nothing but pain." Mama Sarah looked up. She saw her son crying. She didn't see the billionaire. She saw her little boy. Her heart, capable of infinite forgiveness, softened immediately. "Williams," she whispered, touching his wet face with her trembling fingers. "It is okay. Stop crying. Mama is here." "No, it is not okay," Williams shouted, shaking his head. "I humiliated you. I told the world you were nothing, but you are everything. You are God to me, Mama. Take the eye back. Take it back. I don't deserve it." Ruth ran across the stage. Her white dress swept the floor as she dropped to her knees beside them. She wrapped her arms around Mama Sarah, crying so hard her makeup ran down her face. "Mama," Ruth sobbed, "I didn't know. He told me you were dead. I am so sorry. You are the most beautiful woman I have ever met. You are a saint." Ruth looked at Williams with a mixture of anger and pity, but mostly heartbreak. "How could you, Williams? How could you hide this angel from us?" Williams couldn't answer. He just held his mother tighter, rocking her back and forth. The guests in the hall began to stand up. A slow applause started. It wasn't polite applause. It was a thunderous, emotional ovation for the woman in the faded Ankara gown. People were cheering for her sacrifice. The MC picked up the microphone, his voice thick with emotion. "Ladies and gentlemen, today we came to celebrate a union of two people, but we have witnessed something greater. We have witnessed the union of a mother's love and a son's redemption. There is no love greater than this." William stood up, helping his mother to her feet. He took off his expensive suit jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders, covering her faded dress. He took his handkerchief and gently wiped her face. He kissed her scarred eye, the empty socket. He took the microphone again. His voice was hoarse. "Everyone," he said, holding his mother's hand high in the air, "I am sorry for what I said earlier. I was lost. I was arrogant. I thought money made me a man. But today I learned that character makes a man. He looked at his mother. This is my mother. Her name is Sarah. She is not a witch. She is a hero. She gave me her eyes so I could see. She gave me her life so I could live. From this day forward, she will never suffer again. She will never walk again. She will be carried. She will never hunger again. She will feast. He turned to Ruth. If you still want to be with a man as flawed as me, then know this. Where I go, she goes. My house is her house. My money is her money. Ruth smiled through her tears and held Mama Sarah's other hand. I would be honored to be her daughter-in-law. The wedding reception turned into a celebration of Mama Sarah. The dignitaries lined up to greet her. The governor knelt to greet her. The bank investors shook her hand with respect. She sat on the bride's chair, the center of attention, eating the best food, surrounded by love. Williams didn't leave her side for a second. That night, the limousine didn't just take the newlyweds home. It took 3 people. Williams moved Mama Sarah into the master suite of his mansion in Banana Island. He hired 3 nurses to attend to her health, a chef to cook whatever she craved, and a driver to take her wherever she wanted. But the most important thing wasn't the luxury. Every morning before Williams went to the bank, he would go to his mother's room. He would sit on the bed, hold her hand, and look at her. "Good morning, Mama," he would say. "Good morning, my eye," she would reply, smiling. He finally understood. He used to think the one eye made her ugly. Now, when he looked at her, he realized that the empty socket was the most beautiful thing in the world. It was a receipt of a debt he could never fully repay. Moral of the story: never forget the ladder you used to climb to the top. The sacrifices our parents make for us are often silent and invisible. Do not despise their scars, for those scars are often the price they paid for your comfort. A mother's love is the closest thing to God's love on earth, unconditional, sacrificial, and eternal. Honor your parents so that your days may be long and your vision, both of the eyes and of the heart, may remain clear. Grab your popcorn, relax, and watch my other stories on the channel. I promise you that you will be entertained. If you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and tell me your thoughts about this story. See you soon in my next video. Bye.